Hi guys, Yolan here. Today we're back for another video. I'm going to play 2 tables of NL200. Hope you will like it, and let's dive into the action. So I will try to focus more about timing tail analysis in this video, so hope you will like it. Okay, it's king suited. I'm going to 3-bet, so I'm going to use smaller 3-bet size simply because I'm going to give you more information about the timing of the opponent. And especially in 3-bet parts will be quite powerful. So as you see, I will discuss all my timing analysis and all the decisions I take with this timing analysis, because sometimes I'm gonna make analysis, but I'm not gonna have a high certainty enough for me to take a decision only based on timing. Yeah, that's about it. So for example here, when someone's tank calling the 4-bet, it's in general a weaker hand. Or it might be just hands that want you to jam, but most of the time it's just going to be weaker hands that are close with fold, because then ace jack or ace queen suited, for example, is just calling all the time faster. So there are some hands like pocket tens, for example, less in the range, but you might still have hands like pocket jacks that are close to jam, for example. Even sometimes in some cases king, but as I said, it's going to be mainly the weaker region. So it's going to change the way you want to play post flop. It's going to be more relevant for 3-bets, way more. Timing tail in 4-bet pots is not that relevant because there is a big mix in the tank with the hands were close between jamming and the hands were close between folding. And you can't really know which part of his range he has the most in general. So yeah. Acing off here, I'm on jack. I'm going to open to X. Small blind 3-bet here. So this timings doesn't mean anything because he might just play 4 tables and didn't 3-bet that fast. So it just doesn't mean much. The only thing it might mean is it's a little bit weaker, but again, I'm not going to assign these assessments with a high certainty, so I'm not going to take any decision with this. But if I have to guess, I would say it's a little bit weaker. And stronger combos tend to 3-bet faster, but just because it's zoom makes it less true. Okay, I'm gonna call here, not a very good size with him. Then it's here, I'm gonna check. And I'm gonna play only based on the timing. Let's do that, I think it's gonna be fun. I wish I can play on with the timing analysis. I think he bets 1 blind, is in general quite weak here. I'm gonna raise 12 directly. And ace king now. I'm gonna check and see what he does. So I don't think it's that weak, but I think it's still weak. I don't think king 6 take this sizing, for example. And on the turn, I'm just gonna pot here. I think it's fine. And ace king, 1 blind is a tricky size, but I don't think 2 pair plus makes it 1 blind here in the spot. Ace king now. I'm just gonna bet I'm gonna check, but I think it's super often. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so as we saw, the 3-bet that didn't mean anything, and then he folds. So I think 1 blind is a tricky size, it might be weaker, maybe a little bit stronger also, because it might just size normally the king's region or bluff regions. It might size it 1/3, but he's not gonna have to open much with this size. So you can just apply a lot of pressure on most turns here. Pocket ace here, I'm gonna check. So he calls very fast, which is often gonna be pocket pair oriented in the spot, because most of the time Broadway is going to be close between call and 3-bet, depending on his 3-bet frequency, obviously. And then when he bets small, I'm not gonna fold pocket 8. I feel it's very close. But I assume there's too many turns and rivers where I can bluff. For example, any hearts. When Newell goes check, I'm gonna just jam, for example. So even if he bets on this ball and you represent quite strong, I think we can still make money with 8s without heart here, even if folding is definitely completely fine here in the spot. Queen 10 of clubs here, I open and he tanks call. If he calls here, I will assume he never has the pocket pair, absolutely never, because people just call before. And if he has 6-7, he's probably also calling before. So he has enough was close between call and fold. So I'm gonna bet small here and just bet on the street. I'm not gonna fold the raise, and I'm gonna play call, and I'm gonna raise the river. And as I said here, he's literally never gonna have sets. He might have 6-7 naturally. This is something that might happen, but I think he was just gonna have too many bananas just based on the read I have on his timing. Because most people don't think like this with a pair, even if it's a play for tables. As you will see, timings are like often relevant like this. So when I had very small on the turn now, and I just expect him to fold a lot. And if you just check raise again with the read I have, I will actually call even if this line is probably really on the bluff. And he folds. So as you see, we made extra money based on his timing tail pre-flop. And it's not the money I would have won if I didn't analyzing this way. Obviously, with timing analysis, sometimes you're going to get wrong. You're going to lose money. But when you're right, the money you win will compensate the EV loss you have when you are wrong. Pocket 5 here. I'm going to 3-bet. I mean, it's quite wide, but I think playing what seems to be like a tight players or optional player, I think it's fine. Especially because like they're not gonna 4-bet much out of position, so this ins benefits a lot by having this like better visualization. So that's fine. Ace queen here. I'm gonna open pocket 9. I'm going to open also. So I'm getting 3-bet very fast, which BVB is very strong in general because most people with the close region will either like snap or tank, but with the strong region, most people just snap. So I will call. My hand is not a 4-bet anyway at the stakes. And pocket 9 is just gonna call. He bets small. My hand is a call all the time. Let's see what he does on the turn. On the turn, if he bets very fast, I will assume it's a little bit more weakness because except the 5, like everyone like needs time to think about it. And now with ace queen, I'm just going to bet very small and try to get called by a king. Pocket 9s, I'm going to call. And probably king queen or something. Pocket 10s, okay. So we were right pre-flop. Interesting. And now with pocket 9s, I think my hand just let's go and check, and I don't think we'll be able to do anything here. Like I can make full 10s and plus, but you know, it's not like it's not that perfect. And these spots now, it's actually probably a fold here. And it's quite close. But I don't expect them to like size as small with value, with blast, because you know, like all my ranges call the flop, check back, and just catch the river against all the like air broadway. So I expect them to like bluff different lines and different size, but on this one. 8-4, I'm gonna check. So when he snap check, it's often air, but like I don't think he's gonna bet often on the turn, because if he snap check means like he doesn't have any incentives to bet on the flop, and it will be the same on the turn. So I'll just bet one blind here and try to get called by something. He call, and now on the river, I will just check to let him bet an ace, so I can like check raise small here. I think it's the best move, and he unfortunately check back ace 10, which is not like huge like mistakes. I mean, most people will bet this, and if he checks back, this means he's carrying spots, which means like I can't like take that much money from him anyway. Like I will have won like 3 blinds, but in the case he's betting, we can just check raise small, and most of the time people just bet call this. And he can even bluff this, and I'll call the river raise, the river 3-bet if I check raise, because I don't expect them to have strong hands very often in this line. Pocket jacks here, so this hand should be played as a big bet sometimes, and you can also play it as a check, but like 10s and jacks with a heart here might be played as big. You prefer to have a diamond because then you like have like more clean outs in the sense of they're not gonna be, you're going to eat less sets when backdoor flush or king comes in, so that's why I prefer the diamond. And on the turn, I'm gonna check again. Let's see what timing he has. He checks, so I think he has like an easy check, so I would say he has a king most of the time. I think he might also have an ace, but his range from me will mainly be a king. So I'm gonna bet one blind here and try to value bet something. King queen here, I'm going to check. And I think, yeah, I think flush would have like tank more. So like I think if he's raising me, I just call all the time. King queen here, I check the flop, I'll check the turn, let's see what he does. Interesting. So he like tank and check. So for me, it's either like a complete give up that like wanted to bet, or just a hand that like doesn't want to take a bet, or an ace. I think it's the 3 categories. And more realistically, he just saw like absolutely nothing and just give up here. Oh, he actually had a jack and didn't want to face a bet. Then enough here, it's a bit wild. I'm going to defend against two Russian players, and I expect it's supposed to be quite profitable to bluff when both people play passively. And now this guy's snap check is mostly gonna have weaker hands. And when he tank check, I will assume his hand is more condensed all equity that like potentially wanted to bet. So I don't want to bet here, and I'll play as a check. When he snap check, this guy is never having an ace. So if small blinds not check, I will just like put the money in the middle. And I think it's gonna be like mainly an ace, so like I need to like size very big. And I think now if he has like two pair, most people will be scared at like both of us check. So I don't think he has too many strong hands, and I'll actually make big sizing. And actually he says 12, so probably the read on the turn was fine. So it's a spot I could have barreled, but just because of the read, I didn't. 6-5 now against like 2.5. I'm gonna play as a check call. So my hand can check call only because he can play as check call, check raise, and I don't think he has too many do6. But I don't win that much when he's betting on the turn here. Most people are not gonna find enough bluffs, and just gonna have like too many king x. But now if I go in the race, it's gonna be very difficult for them to call a king. Because now I'm gonna have like straight, got some full S combos, etc. So I'm gonna raise for small size, and I expect to have like way more than 50% full equity on the pool in average. You're still sometimes going to get called by a king, like it's gonna happen. But I assume like most people will find the tight fold here. I didn't see it was a Rickson player, which makes me think that folding is actually better. And if he's a reg, I think I like the move here. You fold, interesting. So I think it's still fine, but you need to know against who you are playing, and if the guy is tight, especially from like Chinese countries, they tend to be like, I would say, more serious with the game, regional players. So I expect that my line will be quite respected here. X4, I think I'm gonna chill as a check, and I'm only calling the turn because I can bluff the river. That's very important. If I can bluff the river, I'm not calling the turn because big part of my EV is coming from like having extra fold equity and check raising line on the river. And if I don't have this, like I can't reach the EV I want for me for the move to be profitable. I'm gonna check Ace4, and now with his snap check. So this is literally always a weaker hand. This is literally always a hand that like has showdown value. So like typically against like Ace5, King5, Queen5 of diamond, for example, will always be in his range 6-5. I was on the 5, and he's literally always gonna have that. So you have two way to play these hands. Is if you recognize that because of the timing, he has like way more like 8x, 6, 5x that does like high equity oriented. What you can do is just like bet 20x spot, and he will just, or maybe not 20x spot, but you can just bet like 5x spot, 6x spot. And if people like don't know you do this type of move as a bluff, like you will be able to make fold like this type of region, which is again is always going to happen. I can even show you like why statistically it's always going to happen. But to summarize quickly, it's just because like most people will play this way, will have this hands, and I'm gonna squeeze 5 here, even if it's quite loose. And some players are like never gonna have slow play when it's a snap check like this, which makes it like extremely unlikely you're gonna fix slow play, because even if they might have slow plays, they can also have the like weaker region and snap check. So like I'm gonna see slow play only a small percentage of the time on the population, like is here a small percentage of the time. Yeah. Jack this off here. I'm going to raise very big, like most people is too weak. Doesn't matter the timing, to be honest. If it's a limp, like the tank limp, it's a little bit weaker, but again, still gotta change my decision anyway. So okay. So if we bet, this type of range will, as I say, a little bit stronger. Okay, I'm gonna play my hands, check call. And I have like not the right hand to do it, but if I have like Asia plus, I would have lead, because I don't expect them to triple with air, and I expect them to check back all the time, like pocket 8 to pocket kings. And if I lead this turn small plus river small, I think they like don't bluff this region and mainly call. But I think this thing is a bit too big for that. Really not happy about the turn barrel. I'm gonna call, and now I'm probably going to jump the river. Even if I'll think about it. I will actually check. I think like ace king is gonna put money in the pot. Ace queen's gonna bet, so I don't value too many hands that like bet for this size, so yeah, no, I'm just calling against ace king. Yeah, now with queens, gonna play as a small size. The reason why I say it's ace king all the time is obviously it's not ace king all the time, but if you bet extremely fast pre-flop, which is like more strong range, and it's the way he played his line is very current to ace king. That's why on the turn, even if I had top pair, I was not that happy, and I would have assumed like on a 5, for example, 4-2 straight, that I will have enough equity to turn my hand into a bluff. I'm gonna bet very small again with queens here, because I expect him to always king, and I think he's probably gonna fold. I think he doesn't jam aces, so I'm always ahead. I'm probably against ace queen here. Or ace king. I was about to say ace king extra. That's fine. Okay, ace jack now. We're on 6-5 deuce. I'm gonna play a check. I unfortunately didn't see how fast he called, and if he calls faster, he changed the calling region. Free bet pots are the scenario pre-flop where people have the most amount of timing tell. Simply because when they play like snap call, it means like they have all the pocket pairs, and when they tank calls that like don't have it, so you can make like huge explore after. And you will be shocked to see like how precise the read is. But I check the turn here. Okay, Jack 10 facing off, not really liking it, but I'm gonna call. Okay, he's thinking a lot, that's interesting. I think I'm just gonna play call with my hands. And Jack 10, I think now he has like all the Jack X better and no bluffs, so my hand's always a fold. And the reason why I play calls is because I can bluff like a king, a queen, and I think once I like tank, bet small, the turn's like a little bit weaker. And I'm just gonna bet like for small sizing, I think it's good. I'm gonna bet like 3 blinds and just try to get called by pocket 7, pocket 8, pocket 9, check back on the flop. And yes, when I check, he can bet like king jack, king 10, but realistically it's never gonna happen. Yeah. And like this post for now will be like quite on the bluffed, so I'm probably gonna fold all the time. Because I need to bluff like 7 through jacks, and I don't think he's gonna have it all the time because I check back the flop. But again, I didn't see the timing on the flop, so yeah. Doesn't matter if he thinks like his whole life. No, like it's not. It doesn't change anything. I would even say like it's more value heavy because even it's quite rare like people think so much. I do believe like they're like a little bit scared to bluff after they think so much, so they tend to. I always say show for YouTube. Please. Okay, let's see if he shows. This will be great. Jack 8 ISO here on this flop. I'm gonna play with a small size. Okay, let's see if he showed. Okay, he called, and on the 4 of diamonds, I'm gonna play check, and now I'm gonna jam every side thinks he's less than 1/3, and when he checks, he's mostly gonna have like showdown value in. So I'm gonna jam. He's gonna call an ace sometimes, but he's not always gonna have an ace. Especially when he snap check, his range is mostly weak to what king X, and it might be a range that folds all the time, and if he folds all the time, I'm winning all the pot. Which is obviously quite profitable and will compensate spots well. He's gonna call sometimes an ace because he's not always gonna call all the time, and he's just only gonna call an ace sometimes. Because most people will like at least bet on the river or at least think about it. So, anyway, Sven here. I'll put his channel. One of us. Pocket 10 is gonna 3 bets, and we also have all in power that we know. Pocket jacks here facing us this size. My hand is a call. Gonna check the turn. And we have like two streamers at the same time. It's quite funny. So he called quite fast, which like is not gonna be the close region like ace king queens. Like this region takes more time, so it's mostly like just easy call like pocket 8, pocket 9, king queen suited, etc. So I'm gonna play check on the flop. And now with jacks, think I'm just gonna play check, and my hand is close between raising and folding. Okay, he check. I'm gonna play check again now. And I'm gonna play fold if he bets, I think. And now he checks. I think I would have okay, I don't know what he wanted to do, but okay, interesting. And now with tens, I think people play the border region not as this size, but I don't think they have too many a6 in this size either, so I'm gonna play as a call. And he's not gonna have king of heart at all, because he's only gonna have king suited, and I believe they bet on the flop super often. So when a heart is coming, I can turn my hand into a bluff, which like increase the EV I'm gonna have with sins compared to theory. So even if my hand is closed in theory and can be folded, I will call this because of this reason. And now he bets big. I think this spot is tremendously underbluffed. And even if you might have this region, like this timing is current with like any ace queen plus 7x. So I'm gonna say show for YouTube. Again, I don't think calling is that bad, but I think it's not that good either. So I'm just gonna fold. And I think like king queen play often as check turn plus bet reverse. So yeah, he actually had the nuts. I would have been in big trouble on a heart. But as you see, like on the heart, the only combo he's gonna have is king queen suited. So I think the hand is played fine, and we can probably fold a turn, but everything's okay. I'll just like bluff small on the heart, and if you have like especially king queen king jack GG, but he's gonna have a lot of weaker hands also. They're going to be in big trouble again this line. King 5 I'm gonna fold, Knight 4 I'm gonna fold. Pocket 6 is here, I'm going to call. Ball is 9-6-4. Let's see what he does. So when people tank on this flop, the average range is weaker because like a lot of people just auto-piloting and betting the stronger hands. Very interesting here. I want to do something here, but I think I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna apply the raise here. I think it's close. Queen 8 half here. I'm gonna apply the call. Usually I can raise smaller when they overbet, but yeah. And he jumps, so now I'm just calling in. I'm always ahead of a pair plus a heart, so it's probably going to have like ace 4 fat or aces. Or false. Yeah, obviously it's also a combo. Okay. Like when they tank bet, the range is weaker, but when they overbet and they use a big sizing, it's like often strong hand, obviously. So you change the timing analysis. And if it's a 4, I stop the video. No, it's okay. That's fine. I don't think he has 9s. Like 9s usually don't choose the overbets. So I'm actually always have the super strong call nuts. So should never fall against a raise. And the flop sizing is all obviously fine. And you're gonna find some raise fall with a pair because like when I have a 4, for example, the EV in the call decreases because you choose a bigger size. So it makes the EV of the raise closer. So the way you construct the check raising region against this sizing is different than against smaller size, and again this size is more like blow currented and having 5 outs against the value region. So I can give you a tips against like opening timing, but it's not something I work on enough. Like I started like to count it frames pre-flop, not exactly frames, but like how much seconds people take when they open pre-flop, and I like didn't continue to do this, so like I don't have precise data, but like I noticed something, and it's like it's my experience, so like I don't have like data to back it up. But when people snap open, they tend to not have like aces kings. They are like a little like delay, like this is like a free surprise with the sense. And so when people have aces angels, they don't like snap open it. Like they open fast, but they don't like snap open. And so like very snap open or like in general more oriented to well weaker hands. And I just said I have no like long-term data to back this argument. So take it cautiously, obviously. And as you will see, like when you do like good saving analysis, you're going to be wrong sometimes, but it's never gonna cost you much. It's not because you're wrong, it's like it costs you. This guy is gonna fold, or he's always gonna fold against a free bet. Like this timing are like extremely weak, and they just fold close all the time. Like nobody's thinking that long with jacks. Pocket kings here, I'm gonna check. Obviously some rare instance can happen when like they had to do something. but I will show you I'm actually right when he is doing this. So I'm gonna play click, and again, I know it sounds super ambitious, but I think it's just the move, considering how he played. I will assume the like 4-bet timing is a bit suspicious, but I have like this read about the playflow that is strong enough for me to take the move. So again, like 25 blinds free. And something really important to understand with timing is like, as you see here, without timing analysis, I'll never take these spots. So I took like 25 blinds for free, but like some spot I'm gonna lose. The only question you need to ask yourself is with the skill of the timing analysis you have, is it gonna make more money or less money? That's only about it. Okay, because this ball is queen 10-3. I'm gonna play this check back. This timing doesn't mean anything. It probably means he's writing something in the chat or doing something else. But like when people tank our position like this, they know it's a snap check, so they just do something else, and so I never like take into account this timing. Okay, I'm gonna check again, and now I'm just gonna check. Aces of hearts going to open. And he tanked 3-bet, which is in general a bit weaker, but still remember, like, if you bet on the big blind, this player is quite aggressive, so I'm gonna take the 4-bet here. This is not like precise science. Like sometimes you will see there's a tank and there's still like jam because they are to play full table. But I would say like this element is like precise enough for me to like make a complete deviation in spots, even if people under 3-bet. Obviously, like timing needs to be correlated with the profile if you have any information on it, because like if he has 3% 3-bet, I'm never gonna 4-bet this hand, for example. Ace Jack 8 bets against a small blind. Turn is the 9 of diamond, and now I'm gonna play this small size 9-5. He opened 2 blinds. I'm gonna raise this small. Okay, he called quite fast here. That's interesting. And now obviously my hand is always a check, and I think he has Jack 10 of spade now. Oh, that was so close. What do you call the off combos? Just like I wrote it perfectly. So the reason why I size down the turns, because when I size on the size up, I expect way more calls than if like I get big, and I rescue the weaker portion that can call the river big sizing. That would have the fold on the turn if I bet big, like all the pocket pairs, for example. And after why Jack 10 and not Queen Jack, simply for like combinatory combos. Now I know there's like a little bit more Jack 10 than Queen Jack that calls on the pre-flop. And when there's a queen on the river, he has like more Jack 10 basically than Queen Jack, because of like the off combos that will be there sometimes. Pocket eights, my hand is like always raise. I don't think you need to like always jump, but like you can raise something like 26, 27, and basically let them think you have raise folding, so they can raise weaker hands than you. And also if big blind is jamming, it's probably a fold. Yeah, I mean, I should call, but because of the pools, it actually might be a fold. And now it's actually a fold, which is not gonna jump as fast. Okay, yeah, he's king stand. I mean, I'm so flip against like this guy range, and I think most people are not gonna jump enough. Like they're never gonna jump pocket 7, as they're never gonna jump king queen, even ace jack. So I need to like beat the guy all limbs and other one twice, but whatever. I think it's not a call here in this spot. Pocket queens here. I'm going to re-raise. Eight 7. I just say it here. This guy is not going to 4-bet, and he's gonna fold pre-flop, because the very like snap open is like real less like strong hands. People are like a little timing, like few frame that like where people like freezing a little bit. So yeah, unfortunately I wasn't focused. I didn't see his calling timing. So if his snap call, I will expect his range to be more like pocket Peruvian, easy call. And if he tanks, more like hands will call between 4-bet and fold. But I unfortunately didn't see his timing. And on the flop, like my hand is like check frequency sometimes, which should check raise all the time facing the small size. But against the pool, for many reasons, I think it's just better to play the check call. Because I think they're never gonna like make the like weaker re-raise. They should like 6-7, 9-8, etc. Even jacks plus, jack stands. And the hands I'm targeting are betting the turn. Plus, I let him bet again in bluff. So I think I just prefer to play this way. So I'm gonna call. And now I think main is going to be a fold. The problem of this hand is like I block the bluff region like queen jack king queen, plus he needs to have like the random hand, plus he needs to bluff for like now my hand is like obviously a bit stronger. So depending on the size, if he bets half pot, I'm never gonna fold. If he jumps, it's always a fold. Because in general people don't want to like target overpairs in spots, and like I can have eights all the time, so it's a bit more scared. So now I think it's always a value hand. And I'm gonna say show the bluff, and especially when they like tank a little bit like this in jam, I assume it's like super off on the value hands. Okay, show for YouTube, please. I'll make a big fold. So obviously when I say that, I want him to think he's gonna be arrows if he shows the bluff. So I know that like when I fold, he doesn't show. You can have a bluff, but yeah, less. Okay, I mean it's great hand, nice hand, everybody. But yeah, anyway, as you see here in spots, when I'm not sure with the timing, I'm not gonna base my decision about that. Obviously, if, like I have like a statement that like make me think that I'm quite sure about what's happening. Yes, I can call depending on his timing, but when it's like average timing and like I only have assumption that like doesn't allow me to make a decision based on that, I'm like just playing technically, and my hand is just not a good call. It blocks just too many bluffs that he may have, so just like not a good way to play these hands like this, I think. And if I had kings, then aces, my hand will be a call, but queens just block the bluffs too easily. Queen 10 here, I'm going to call. I don't really like the size. King 10, I'm probably going to get 4-bet here by this guy. 4-bet to fold. Okay, Queen 10, I'm gonna play. Yeah, I mean, this is gonna 4-bet. Like when people tank for that long. Oh, okay, no, I mean, now this time it doesn't mean anything. I just wanna say good luck. So he was looking for his smiley. Okay, whatever. Yeah. So obviously sometimes it means nothing, like you don't need to interpret everything. And Queen 10 when he checks, I'm gonna play with a lot of bets because I don't expect them to check raise enough flop, check raise enough turn. So I'm gonna have higher equity rotation this line per the checking line. So yeah. And timing are actually extremely relevant in PLO, like even way more than all of them. So yeah, something that I think is important for you to check. King Queen, I'm going to 3-bet here. And I think this is gonna fold. It's like a few seconds open or like a little bit weaker in general. So yeah, as a safety fold. But the video doesn't have a cut. I'm telling you. So, but again, it's sometimes I'll be wrong. It's fine. And as you see, like even if I think I'm going to get 4-bet, I'm still 3-betting because I'm never gonna have like a read that is strong enough for me to like fold King Queen suited against an open, for example. Again here, I think if you 3-bets, like it's mostly a weaker hand because like people don't wait like that long with a hand. Except if there is like this like chat dynamic that should not happen to you that much. Okay. And he's actually never gonna have like a super strong hand because when people has like Jack plus, they're like a little bit afraid to misclick preflop. So yeah. Okay. Well, I really want him to show his hand now. uh, sure. From Instagram. I mean, it's actually YouTube. That's not Instagram. Okay, so he's king. No, that's interesting. Well, I think my reader like 100% correct, but there's like this little dynamic where like he was chatting in the chat, so like his timing is then different, and like because he knows me, it creates like another dynamic, so it's not very relevant for like people like talk to me in the chat. Not the reader obviously less accurate because it's not like a normal situation. But I mean, it's still like 4-betting Jack 8 is fine. Like should be Jack 9, but Jack 8 is like okay. 10-8 here, I'm gonna play as a check back. I mean, it's fine. And pocket 8's full. I think like this long tank doesn't mean much on the spots. It's mostly him playing too much table and too many table. And when someone's like tanking a lot in like weird situation or he shouldn't tank, it probably means he's just playing too much table and his timing is then like not that relevant. He will still have some timing tell, but less. 10-8, I'm gonna call the big bet on the turn, and now when he snap check, I think I'm just gonna check, and I think I'm probably gonna lose all the time. Actually, he's gonna have like king 10, or he's always gonna have like jacks. I really want to jump to make 4 jacks. I'm losing all the time here. Jacks or queens, or kings. I knew. I will tell you why I knew I lose all the time, but I think I can bluff, unfortunately. With all the Jack 10 in my range, I believe it's like call too much, but why not jamming? So the reason why I lose all the time, and I felt I was not winning in the spots, is simply because when he bets extremely big and snap check, like what hands want to snap check? If he has a bluff, he will think about bluffing. It will take a few seconds at least. So it's a hand that doesn't want to bluff and count value bets, and what ends like has these requirements and play this way, overpairs. So he's gonna have more kings and aces because like kings and aces trap more on the flop. So like, I should have said kings, but it was like in the range of like jacks, queens, etc. And the same way if they have spades or nines, you're never gonna have it. So you face like a strong range, but not that strong facing all in. And the question is, do he fold against all in? But I think it's spot like with my nicknames, I'm not very good to bluff. But I think in game, if you don't have like the nickname where people call it a bit more, I think going all in here is like very good based on the timing the opponent had. Okay, Jack 6 here, I'm gonna bet small. Can play check here is fine. Gonna bet half pot and queen for free. Okay, he 10 call here, which is often close between a hand that wanted to raise or a hand that wanted to fold. And there are way more closer hand between call and folds than hands between call and raise. It's mostly weaker hands. It's obviously never an 8, so I'll just check raise. And on the river, I think I'm beating everything else, so I'm probably going to just check. But the thing is now, if he doesn't have an 8, he's not going to have king 8 at check back, so like he's mostly going to have a weaker hand. And I think when I bet 77, he's actually folding everything, so my hand should just like massive over bet. And every hand has like some type of equity, will just apply the check raise. And because I have been in a checking line, I will assume that my hand makes more money as like targeting the weaker portion at call on the flop and check the turn. But because I can't beat this region, because it's going to be queen eye, my hand should overbet directly. But if I have a hand that has EV in the checking line, I will play swing. Ace queen off here, he free bet quite fast, so mostly a stronger hand, still gonna call. Okay, he bet 1/3. I think my hand is gonna be a call against a tight Japanese player because he's mostly gonna check for like queen jack 10 super often and in very terrible spots. I mean, I can still win and bluff my hand sometimes. So I'm gonna call, and on the river, well, I'm gonna have some bluff in my perceived region. I'm gonna have king x of diamonds, 6-5, 5-4. So I think my hand is like not a good jam, but I think his range now is quite strong. I think he's just gonna have kings, or ace king. Yeah, I mean he's literally having kings here right now. Diamond and heart. Or like something strong like a6 off. Okay, that's funny. That's interesting. Yeah, I just see I was wrong with the timing analysis this time. Like I just thought he will have like ace king, but no, he just have like complete run on a6. Let's 3-bet fast. So as you see, sometimes you will be wrong, but did I fold ace king pre-flop? No, because I know that my read can be incorrect. So I'm not gonna base my decision too much on the timing, as I already said. Okay, 10-8 off here, I'm going to open. Ace queen off, just call 4-bet here. I mean, it's quite small, like most people don't call off the like bottom portion, like 6-5, 6-7, etc. On the flop, now my hand should just play pure check and just betting with diamond, basically. But like I have a bad removal in the betting line, so should just play check fold. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna fold now. Ten four spade here, I'm going to check call. A7 of heart, I'm going to open. Okay, I'm gonna check here. So in general, like I don't mind, I don't care about his timing. It's more like the range is a bit stronger, like it's more like king eye oriented. So I'm not gonna do anything crazy against this pattern here. And now he has too many jacks and things like this. Just like air, just bet the flop of the turn. So I'm not gonna make the move. A7 facing small and call. My hand is going to be a call. Not strong enough to raise. And if someone's betting the turn, like, no, I'll just fold if it's guy bet bigs, because she's gonna bet 8+, she's not gonna bet 7-6, and I think he's gonna have all the pocket 4, 6-5, etc. So I'm never calling against a bet. Even against half pot, I'm actually folding. Even if it's quite close, obviously. Because it's only half pot. But I mean, my gut shot is not even that clean, so I think just played stone lots. Okay, I don't know what they're doing, but funny. Okay, ace of diamond, I'm gonna call against half pots now. I have, what is it doing? I mean, now like this guy doesn't have any bluffs, but I think it's like 6-5 against 6-5, and this guy is just okay, super weird. Okay, ace 5, I just call now. Both calls. I'm gonna bet 2 blinds. I expect this guy to like bet an 8 all the time. This guy will bet an 8 in position, so like I just have enough value to bet my hand here. And we chop against ace 4. But I call by the 10, which is cool. And when they bet half pot, it's like a little bit weaker, so what you can do is just like calling a little bit more, because you will have like more occasion to make fold top pair on a lot of runouts. Whereas like if their range is more like 8x oriented, you're gonna have like way less fold equity, and in this instance you should like fold more if you think his range is like 8x oriented. Ace king, 3 bets, he calls, another call. Ace 10-8, so basically this board can just be played as like small give up, because most ends that raise against you have like close to 100% equity. So you don't bet fold much, and when someone is calling, you have the best hand, so you can go in a line where you can value bet him on 2 or 3 streets. So I will assume, even if like I isolate myself against stronger equity range, that like betting is actually better in spots. And on the turn, I think my hand is quite close, but probably better in the checking line. Here I 3-bet 10-4. I didn't see his timing. When he snap calls, like an easy hand that has to call, so like he's gonna have pocket 8, pocket 3 in his range a little bit too much, and like we're not gonna have enough like jack 9, like 9-7, like should think about it more when they call. And ace king, it's a very, very difficult spot. I will tend to call, but we are like close to all the time against a better hand, unfortunately. Because we need him to value bet things like ace jack, which I don't think is gonna happen all the time. And we need him to bluff like pocket 9, 8-7, which is sometimes gonna happen as well. Like I don't think it's a bad call, but I mean that's probably not a call even if I have ace king, to be honest. Ace I'm going to open. King queen off here, so you do 3 bets. No analysis on the opening timing. He just like open normally. On the flop, I'm gonna check. And when he snap check, it's very often a weak ends. here the best line is to check again, because he's gonna bet an ace by himself often, and you don't reduce the SPR with a bluff, so you can apply max pressure. And now I just want to make fold like pairs, so I'm just gonna jam. And if he has a 6 or 2G, but no 6 is played in this way. Like he's only gonna have 6-7, so it's fine. And like also, if there's like another 6, allows me to have a 6 myself in my perceived range, which allow me for more full equity, even if he has like more nutted hands compared to the blank. Okay, it's gonna be the end of the video. Really hope you like it. Like and subscribe, and see you for the next one. Bye guys.